Hello, in this video I'm going to review performing some single-digit multiplication problems. Okay, so question number one here. We have find the product of 4 times 9. So when they say the product is the answer to a multiplication problem. The answer. So product is the answer to a multiplication problem. Now there are three ways that multiplication is signified. There are three symbols that mean multiplication. One way is, like you see right here, parentheses. So we have 4. Okay, there we go. So we have 4 times 9. Multiplication is inferred by the parentheses. Okay, parentheses means multiplication. So what is 4 times 9? Indeed, it's 36. A second way, so that's the first way. The second way you can infer multiplication is to use the dot. There's a dot. 4 dot up here, not down here like the period. This is up here, dot 9. This also means multiplication. So what is 4 times 9? Well, it's still 36. Then the third way, which I'm sure you're familiar with back from grade school, which is the x. 4 times 9. Now, as you get into the second half of Math 50, the algebra part, we're not going to use this x because x has a different meaning in algebra. So even here, we don't want to use it too much. I know it's used in this section, you'll see coming up. But get used to all three. Parentheses, a dot, and an x means multiplication. All right, so having said that, let's go ahead and pop that in as the answer. Okay, well, here we have a dot, still multiplication. 8 times 4 is 32, you said, correct. 7 times 5 is correct. 5 times 8 is correct. 5 times 4 is, yep. 7 times 4 is, yep. 6 times 7 is 42. 5 times 8 is correct. Okay, so now we have something that looks like this. Okay, we have 3 different numbers that we're multiplying. We have 3 different numbers that we're multiplying. So we have 7 times 8 times 0. Whenever you have more than 2 numbers to multiply, just simply do the multiplication from left to right. Okay, so 7 times 8 is 56. And then let's figure out what 56 times 0 is. What is 56 times 0? What is 0 times anything? 0, you said, correct. The answer is 0. So now, here I told you to do the multiplication left to right. But in the case of a 0, anytime you see a 0 in the series, when they're all multiplication, everything in there is multiplication, you know the answer is 0. Don't even bother trying to multiply 7 times 8. Who cares what it is? times 0, whatever this is, times 0 is 0. Okay, so the answer is 0. But if these were different numbers without 0, you know, if there were non-zero digits here, you would do it left to right. You don't have to, right? You don't have to, but you could. You could do it left to right, because remember um, the associative property and also the commutative property, we can move numbers around for multiplication, right? Right? Actually, let's talk about that since this is a short video. All right, so let's say we have 5 times 4 times 3. Yeah, let's try that. All right, so let's say you have 5 let's say you have 5 times 3 times 4. Yeah, you could do this left to right. You could, no doubt about it. But when I see this, and I know that I can move the numbers in any order because everything's being multiplied, or I can group these in any way, in my head, I'm going to keep the 5. I'm going to take this 4 and move it next to the 5, and then take this 3 and move it here. Why would I do such a thing? Because then I can say in my head, 5 times 4 is 20. I can do that in my head. And then 20 times 3, well, that's 60. Yeah. We could have also done the same thing here, but it would have been a little bit more difficult because 5 times 3 is 15. Okay. And 15 times 4 is still 60. So it's not like the answer is any different. But to me, this is easier to compute than that. So anyway, so remember the associative and commutative property when you multiply. And in this case, we didn't have to use it because 0 times anything is 0. All right, so let's continue. Let's put the 0 in here and continue. Okay, this is kind of a toughie, right? Yeah, it's kind of a toughie. So let's figure this guy out. I'm not sure that it makes much difference which way to order these, to be honest with you, because nothing pops out at me as being super easy in terms of regrouping. So we have 8 times 6 times 4. Well, 6 times 4 is 24. 8 times 6 is 48. 8 times 4 is 32. There's no good way to group these. So here's where I would just say, you know what? I'll just do it left to right. 8 times 6 is 48. And then you have times 4 here. 48 times 4. Now, these are big numbers. It's obviously not on a table. So what you should definitely do is, on the side, do it vertically. 48. Now, we haven't gotten to multiplication with higher than digit 12 yet. So this is like a preview of what's coming later. So we're going to say 4 times 8 is 32, right-hand digit, left-hand digit, and put a plus in front because we're going to add the 3 to whatever 4 times 4 is. All right. So again, 4 times 8 is 32. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 plus 3 is 19. 19. Now this one did not get carried over here on top because there's no digit here. It just kind of fell through. You can think of it that way. All right, so the answer to this whole thing appears to be 192. So this one had no easy way to regroup or move the numbers around to get an easier outcome. So here, it looks like 192 is our answer. Let's try it. Yep. Okay. 0 times 6, I'm sorry, 9 times 0 times 6. What do you think the answer is? 0, you said, correct. Because 0 times anything is 0. All right, let's do our last problem here. And let's see what we get. So we have 4 times 3 times 8. As I'm writing this down, think of a way to regroup these to make it easier, if there's a easier way to regroup. Well, in my head, I'm thinking 4 times 3 is 12. 3 times 8 is 24. 4 times 8 is 32. Nah, no easy way. So just do it left to right, left to right. These two digits first. 4 times 3 is 12. Bring down your times 8. What is 8 times 12? You don't know, you say. Okay. Well, what is 8 times 10? Well, I know that's 80. I know it's 80. So this is 10 eighths, correct? 80 is 10 eighths. But we have 12 eighths. So what we have to find out is, what are 2 more eighths? What are 2 more eighths? Well, 2 more eighths will give us another 16 on top of the 80. So therefore, our answer is 96. So you can use these kind of techniques to help you with bigger numbers like 12. Think of what times 10 will give you that, and then 2 more of that number. All right, so let's put in 96. Okay, so that's how you perform single-digit multiplication in MATLAB Plus. So just keep in mind that there are 3 different ways to multiply, 3 different symbols: the X, the dot, and the parentheses. If you like my content, click on the like button, post your comments, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.